in your 80th year, it's a time when we see violence around us in the world. Terrorism is now being seen as a common threat, whether it's, we've been victims in India, we've seen it in Lahore in Pakistan, in Brussels, in Ankara. Are you still optimistic for world peace? Buddhism has preached peace throughout. How do you preach world peace at a time like this?
Since I think the last 30 years, I have serious discussion with scientists and also some educationists and other sort of some knowledgeable people. Now, then, you see, some occasion, the scientists, you see, they mentioned basic human nature is more compassionate. They have some reasons. I'm not necessarily going to repeat these reasons. So then, when I heard that, I really convinced now. You see, basic human nature is more compassionate. Therefore, there is real hope. If basic human nature is anger or negative emotion, then no hope. So that's not, and then of course, I'm Buddhist. So the Buddhist literature, particularly Nalanda tradition, say Buddha nature. All sentient beings have Buddha nature. So that means ultimate nature is positive. So therefore, now I fully convinced if we make sort of effort, realistic way, not through prayer, not through simple meditation, but through education. Actually, today we are going to discuss about that. So I think education change world. So now education, existing education system is not adequate. Present existing education is mainly oriented about material value, external value, not internal value.
Would you like to see, because the irony, sir, is that so much of this killing or bloodshed is in the name of religion. As a religious, as a spiritual leader, why do you think religion is being distorted across religions to justify violence? Do you think violence can be justified in terms of a holy war in any sense?
No, I think certainly not. But then again, you see, we have to think. I think since human history, war is part of human history, including sometimes war in the name of religion. But that's past. When the reality, you see, not only continent to continent, but also, you see, within the continent, you see, different people more or less self-sufficient. Then maybe, all right, fight with your neighbor. And destruction of your neighbor is your victory. Now, today's reality completely changed. Destruction of your neighbor is destruction of yourself, because your future depends on them. Their interest, your interest, heavily interdependent. So now global level, not only nation to nation, but continent to continent, heavily interdependent. East world need West, West world need East, like similar North world or South world. That's the, and then climate sort of condition, all these, and the human population much increasing. So now time come, we have to think humanity rather than my nation, my community. Because you see, we are social animal. Any social animal, even you see some bees, some ants, not necessarily, you see, they very intelligent, but biologically, you see, they have the sense of community, work together for survival. So we, human beings, this marvelous intelligence. Now we must use this intelligence, common sense. We should not be slave of anger, hatred, and arrogance. So therefore, I think basic human nature is compassionate. Then this intelligence now should sort of also use strengthening that basic human nature. That's lacking now, today's education system.
When you hear words like Islamic terrorism, or even when you've heard focus being talked about in Myanmar, that why are Buddhists against Rohingya Muslims there?
Yes.
Do you think labels or religions should be attached to terror? Do you think there is a genuine problem?
People who follow religion, they also human beings. they also have the negative sort of emotions also there. Now, the point is whether we accept religion or not up to individual. Once we accept any religion, we should be very sincere, very serious. And religious sort of concept should be part of our life. Then all major religious traditions carry same message of love, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, self-discipline. So all major religious traditions, in spite of different philosophical views, all have same sort of message, so same potential. I have many friends among Christians, Christianity or Christians, among Muslims, among Jews, so on. Wonderful people. Like here picture Mother Teresa and some others are Muslim, my friend. Wonderful people.
So you're sad when you hear of Buddhist atrocity, Buddhist violence in Myanmar against Rohingyas?
So
are you saddened when you hear that?
World sort of, I say, consider Buddha is symbol of peace, but follow of Buddha also sometimes create problem. So therefore, these are, you see, the religious belief, wonderful, but the human weakness is sometimes become upper hand. Now for that reason, I think almost 2,000-year-old Indian sort of practice of religious harmony is now really, we need, firstly, recognize this sort of Indian tradition, religious harmony. It's not only something good, but this now promote and share to rest of the world. So therefore, religious harmony, if we make also study, not just emotion, but use human intelligence. What this religion carry, what kind of philosophy? Then we find differences. Then we have to ask, what is the purpose of this different philosophy? Same purpose, to promote compassion, to bring real sort of conviction about the value of compassion.